And this is to the Nigerian government. If we think that punishing our Nigerian youth is the best way to make this economy grow or to create sanity in the country or to correct our youth, then let this be very clear. Punishment without helping does not just promote hardened heart criminals, but it creates phenomenon apex predatorial, scientific, professional, and concrete scam artist. Hello, Mr. Efcc. Please come. Mr. Olukoyede. Please, can you come closer? We have something to discuss about Nigerian Yahoo boys. I want to ask you a question. What is really going on with this continuous arrest? I decided I'm going to call the chairman of the Efcc simply because I think there can be more civil conversation between the civilians like me and the Efcc chairman compared to the Nigerian police force, who will just do what they want to do regardless of any conversation you try to have with them. If peradventure what I'm about to say is going to be offensive and you're going to be looking for something to tame me and say that you're going to probably write a petition or sue me for one thing or the other, please, this is number one, this is a fake camo. I want to talk about the Yahoo boys in Nigeria. Currently, I follow the Efcc on Instagram and I see their post. Before, I was being accused and I was sent to prison around March 4th, 2024. Before I was being sent to prison, I was actually educating the Yahoo boys to stop whatever they are doing because the EFCC has every tools to get them. I'm in Nigeria and I care much about my country, not basic. Despite the fact that I'm a youth, I'm not involved in any scam or fraud. But one thing is for sure is that I do not think that this whole scenario of Yahoo boys and the rest is actually making sense because of the perception that we are bringing out about ourselves to the world in general. Now, before I went in, I made a video about Yahoo boys to stop the act of defrauding people and go into more legal things. And then I was accused by a real estate organization of some unnecessary claims, and I found myself in the same prison that I was trying to stop the Nigerian youth not to go. And I realized certain things after I got to the prison. When I got in, I realized that despite the fact that Yahoo boys are being brought to the prison, a lot of them still do the Yahoo. They still continue the act of defrauding people. In fact, a lot of them still make money through inside the prison by defrauding people outside the prison, and certain people get the cash for them and they use that to bail themselves regardless of the fact that their account is probably being banned or being frozen and they are being put in the prison. And so I had an eye-opening to realize that arresting Yahoo boys or continuously arresting the Yahoo boys is not actually helping the situation of bringing sanity to our country. Now, let me put it this way. I want to ask the EFCC this particular question, and please, I'm doing this respectfully. Are you against the Yahoo boys or are you against the Yahoo Plus? Because there are two distinctions between Yahoo Plus and Yahoo boys. Now, both of them commit same crime, but which one are you really against? Because if they all can still go inside the prison and make more money even while they are there, because now they are more concentrated rather than them being distracted from going to clubs, carrying too many oloshes and the rest of it. Now they make a lot of money and they are more focused when they're in the prison. Don't ask me how I knew about it, but everyone should have known that correctional center in Nigeria is also corrupt. Initially, they called Nigeria Prison Service before they changed the name to Nigerian Correctional Center. And despite the changes, it's just a prison, a place where they take people to punish them. I want to ask this question. Since 2021 or since 2021, Nigerian prison has 240 prison centers. And we keep taking all Nigerian youths and we keep throwing them in prison because they are committing AKA fraud. And I'm not saying it is wrong for the law enforcement, for the Efcc to go against these people. But my question is, what are we doing to help? And how are we helping these people to correct them when we are putting them in hell, thinking that we are going to change the whole scenario and they are going to come out and become a better people or better citizens in the country? First of all, let me make this clear. Nigerian loves to copy United States. We like to emulate United States of America. And let me give you certain details about United States of America. In the United States of America, they have certain prisons. And in the prisons, their population in the prison is over 1.9 million population. The United States prison has over 1,566 state prisons. They have 98 federal prisons. They have 3,116 local jails. They have 1,323 juvenile correctional center. They have 142 immigration detention facilities, and they have 80 Indian country jails. Now, bringing it back to Nigeria, who love emulating the United States, we only have 240 prison centers in Nigeria. If this place is very congested, how can we set up facilities to help our Nigerian youth that when we take them to prison, they are going to come out and become better people when they can not even breathe? And everything they begin to do is to be so desperate to come out of prison. And when they come out, they continue exactly what they've been doing in the past. It is too congested. And I want to make you know something, that in these 240 prison centers, we have over 80,507 population in Nigerian prisons. You ask me, 240 prison centers, 240 prison centers, and 80,507 population in the prison. You say maybe the facilities are big enough, but that's a lie. For example, in Ikoyi prison, I was aware that the correctional center could hold over 800 population. But when you go there, you're going to see over 3,500 or 4,000 inmates. Please, I want you to look at this. 800 people and 3,500 going to 4,000. How do you think that place is going to be congested? And despite the fact that the DCP of the Ikoyi prison center is making every means to make sure that some people who have been detained should have their liberation, despite the fact that we have very little facilities for maybe boss to take people to court, so they can even, some of them might plead guilty, some of them might be discharged. Do not care about all this, and the Nigerian police force will keep taking people to prison every single time, and the EFCC are doing their own. The NDLEA, that they pack people, they come. Man, the thing that baffles me in all this is, what are we doing as people to help those people who are being accused, who are sent to trial, to be in prison? What are we doing to help them out? What are we doing to make sure that they go in and they become better people, and they come out and they are more civilized and more useful to our own society? Because these people go in, due to the frustration and the hell and the congestion of it, they become worse. It is difficult and rare to see someone go inside the prison and come out and become a better soft person. I will tell you, out of 100%, maybe you will find 2% who will go in and come out and become better people. Now I have certain things I want to ask. What is the business that is being set? What is our economy doing to help the people? What is our educational centers, institutions? What are they doing to help correct these people to become better people? Because we are joking with Nigerians. If we think we are only messing up the youth of the country, we need to be aware that the youth would be the one that would take charge of this country after you all are gone, which you all will be gone at some point. Let me tell a story about one of these Yahoo guys that I met. I was arrested around 4th of March 2024, accusation by a real estate organization because I spoke about certain things that they did to me. Okay, I found myself in prison and in jail. Both of them are the same. And on the 20th of March, after I was remanded, on the 20th of March, I was in jail. I was given the opportunity to go to court for the adjournment. And while I was there for the adjournment, I saw new people that they brought into, there's a facility for new people who are going to be remanded in jail. And then I saw one guy. I asked him what brought him there. He said he's a Yahoo guy. And they asked him to pay 1.8 million to be granted bail. And when he said they asked him to pay 1.8 million, I told him everything that is going on in the prison. And I say, brother, you have to plan well. Do what you have to do to make sure you have a good life. Communicate with your family. Let them assist you. He said he's probably going to be spending 8 months, or he was being sentenced for 1 year. Sorry. 1 year simply means he's going to be serving over 8 months or so. So I was like, call your family. Let them help you. Do you have any alternative to make money? He said, no. Do you have, I said, do you have alternative to be able to I knew with this guy was able to raise money to pay up his fine. And I asked myself a question. You did not come in with phone. How did you magically have the money to pay for your fine and, pay your lawyer and you pay the fine and you're granted bail? What method do you think that guy would have used to make the money? I am saying in the big sense that this is not helping. Whatever things we are thinking that is the best way for us to make sanity reign in this country by going after our youth, it's not helping in any sense. Here is my alternative, and I want to be bringing out this alternative to the Efcc Commission. I think that if we have to be human, we have to think of better alternatives to help our youth. If we actually have the interest of the country at mind, not just because we think that arresting these people increase our grade, make the justice system or the government see us as very active. This is not about arresting the people anymore, because I think that if the economy is okay, if the educational system is okay in the country, if all these things are working effectively, people would engage themselves with things that are legal or legit in the country. It is simply because most of these people are not educated, number one. Most of these people did not see any better alternative to do anything that is legit, number two. Most people feel like the economy is crumbling, number three. These are the things that are pushing them towards this particular act. So I would propose that they should create institutions or skills or things that Yahoo boys, anyone who is being convicted of Yahoo stuff and all of that in Nigerian prison, should have certain skills that make sense, or they should be used for something that actually makes sense. A little bit. Let them learn something that is legit, that would be a better alternative than them just going into the same thing they've been doing before and getting the same result, because nothing is going to change. If you arrest them now, you will definitely arrest them later. In fact, they will be in jail and they will keep making money in jail, and we keep abusing. And our perception to the world out there is that we are the most corrupt country, and even in prison, they are doing worst. And I'm not just trying to use this to casual and say that, oh, this is how we are as people, but in reality, this is what's going on. We ain't helping going after this Yahoo boys over and over again. So if they can't create any institution that will help the people that are being apprehended, then what's the point? To me, I can't see any reasonable point in it. Then I would say that if we think that, and this is to the Nigerian government, if we think that punishing our Nigerian youth is the best way to make this economy grow or to create sanity in the country or to correct our youth, then let the Nigerian government is not going to arrest the Oloshos, because if we have tradition and culture as country and our women think that it is proper for them to sell their body outside, and if this particular state did not accept it, another state will accept it. If this particular street did not accept it, another street will accept it. Local government versus local government. Some of them accept Olusho. Some of them will say they don't accept Olusho until it becomes excessive. That is when most times we look at it and we say, okay, let's treat it as an issue. But I am so surprised that they are not going against the Oloshos of Nigeria. They haven't seen that to be crime yet. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is legal because we emulate the United States and we think, yes, that is how our own society has to be. But we are not emulating the fact that in their own prison system, they have certain institutions that help their people to become better people. And I'm not saying that regardless of any institution we build, we are going to convert everyone. But at least if we could even convert 60 to 70%, even 50%, Nigeria is getting better. But we ain't doing anything. As police, they arrest, Efcc, they arrest, NDLEA, they arrest you on unnecessary things. Even on civil cases where you should have civil disputes with people in court. No, they go carry you, pam. They put you just like VDM, just like every single person that even come out to speak up. And I don't know if speaking up about this is also going to bring any retaliation from either the government, either the EFCC, either the Nigerian police force. And they are just going to find one single excuse, just like the way they did Bobby Risky. Yes, I think Bobby Risky should be held because the things he's doing is going to degenerate Nigeria as a whole. But at the same time, I think the mentality was he was supposed to be given an heavy fine rather than him serving. But I don't know the justice system as much as they do. I think the law knows more than I think I know. But even with my common sense, I know that emotions are kind of If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Yahoo Boys, and you know Elo Jawo. Molosho, very soon, maybe constitutions and justice system will look into your own case. Yahoo Plus, your own is hellfire. Hellfire is cooking and waiting for you guys. But on a serious sense, me, I'm tired of all this old stuff. I'm fucking tired. But you all have to subscribe first, because that's how I want to make my own money. Have a blessed day. See you in my next video. Adios, amigos. And join me in the new podcast that I'll be doing on the 10th of June 2024 on real estate scam in Nigeria. See you there.